He was a husband and a father. Then, without any warning, he vanished without a trace. But when the truth finally surfaced, it was so disturbing that even the most experienced investigators felt sick. A missing man, a shocking confession, and a story so gruesome it became one of Singapore's most infamous unsolved cases. Let's investigate and solve the Curry murder case. In 1984, a man named Ayakannu Marithamuthu vanished without a trace. But years later, whispers began to spread. Stories of a horrifying crime, a body never found, and a meal that left a sinister mark on history. Was this a cold-blooded act of revenge, or just a twisted urban legend? This is not your typical true crime documentary. In this channel, you are the detective. We lay out the facts, the evidence, the unanswered questions. Look at the clues and make your call. Let's begin. Ayakannu was a 37-year-old man living in Singapore. Originally from India, he had moved with his wife, Naragatha, and their 3 children. They lived near the Orchard Road Presbyterian Church, where Naragatha's extended family also resided. Ayakannu worked as a caretaker for holiday cottages in Changi. His life, however, was far from perfect. According to those who knew the couple, Ayakannu was a violent man. He frequently drank and physically abused his wife. Naragatha often fled with her children to stay with her relatives. But divorce wasn't an option, not just because of financial struggles, but also due to cultural and societal pressures. Every time, she was forced to return to him. On December 12, 1984, everything changed. Ayakannu left home, allegedly to visit a casino in Malaysia. Days passed and he never returned. His wife, surprisingly, didn't seem overly concerned. It wasn't until December 18 that she filed a missing persons report. At the time, police didn't think much of it. A grown man leaving his home for a while, that's not unusual. And with no sense of foul play, the case was set aside. Years passed, no updates, no trace. Until, in 1987, an informant walked into a police station with a story that would haunt investigators forever. A man drinking at a bar overheard a chilling conversation. Someone bragging about murdering Ayakannu, chopping him into pieces, and putting his remains and cooking it into a curry. Detective Alagamalay, who received the report, was skeptical. But when he pulled the missing persons file, something didn't sit right. For 3 years, Naragatha never followed up on her missing husband. She never asked for updates. She never seemed to care that he was gone. He decided to investigate further. When questioned, Naragatha repeated her claim. Her husband has gone to Malaysia and she had no idea what happened to him. But the evidence said otherwise. There were no records of Ayakannu ever leaving the country. No plane tickets, no border crossings. His employer revealed that he had applied for leave on December 21, not December 12, as his wife claimed. The timeline didn't make sense. Police dug deeper, questioning Naragatha's family. They learned that she had 3 brothers, one of whom was a trained butcher. Another had a criminal past, previously convicted of robbery. And then, after days of relentless interrogation, one of them cracked. On the night of December 12, 1984, a fight broke out. Ayakannu, intoxicated as usual, got into an argument with his brothers-in-law. But this time, things escalated. They grabbed an iron rod and struck him, once, twice, again and again, but he stopped moving. Realizing what they had done, they had a choice: turn themselves in or cover up the crime. They chose the latter. The body was taken to the kitchen, dismembered, cooked. The remains were placed in plastic bags and discarded in trash bins across the city. And the most disturbing part? Some believe the meat was used in a meal, a curry, one that was served to unsuspecting people at the local church. On March 23, 1987, the police made their move. Naragatha, her brothers, Her mother and her sister-in-law were all arrested. The trial was short, less than 30 minutes. With no body, no murder weapon, no physical evidence, the judge had no choice but to acquit them all. They walked free that very same day. The brothers were later arrested and detained for a few years, but they were eventually released in 1991. To this day, no one has ever been held accountable for the murder of Ayakannu Marithamuthu. After all these years, the mystery remains. People still ask the same question: what really happened to Ayakannu? His case has no clear answers, only theories. Some believe the truth is obvious. Others say it's more complicated. But after decades, three main possibilities remain. Could one of them finally explain the disappearance? Theory number 1. The murder and cover-up theory. Ayakannu was indeed murdered, and his body was disposed of in a horrifying way. The confession made by one of the suspects was genuine, but due to the lack of physical evidence, no body, no murder weapon, the case could not be proven in court. His family members, frustrated by years of domestic violence, may have taken justice into their own hands, leading to one of the most disturbing alleged crimes in Singapore's history. Theory number 2. The vanishing theory. Ayakannu did, in fact, leave on his own. Whether by legal or illegal means, he fled to Malaysia and started a new life under a different identity. His disappearance, though suspicious, may have been voluntary. The confession would have been a false admission under pressure, or even a bizarre attempt at dark humor that spiraled out of control. Theory number 3. The bar talk hoax. The entire Curry story was nothing more than a grotesque misunderstanding. A man at a bar may have fabricated or exaggerated a tale after hearing gossip, leading to a police investigation that lacked hard evidence. With no forensic proof, no body, and conflicting statements, could this have been an urban legend fueled by speculation and paranoia? With no definitive answers, Ayakannu Marithamuthu's fate remains a chilling mystery. Was he murdered in one of Singapore's most gruesome unsolved crimes? Or did he simply walk away, leaving behind a trail of suspicion and unanswered questions? If you were the detective, what would you do next? Would you reinvestigate Naragatha and her family? Search for evidence in old crime records? Follow up on leads that suggest Ayakannu might still be alive? One thing is for certain, this case still haunts Singapore. Drop your theories in the comments below. Let's solve this together. Subscribe to Case Solvers Club for more cases like this. We investigate, we analyze, and we uncover the truth, one case at a time.